Over the last couple of years, the Detroit Lions have started to garner a lot more respect and love from national media analysts and outlets. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how PFF just gave them some massive respect. Stay tuned, everybody.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10-5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving in. But before we do so, again, just want to say a quick shout out and thank you to all my loyal fans and subscribers. You guys are absolutely wonderful, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you. And to those that are also tuning in for the very first time, thank you all for devoting some time to the show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully I gain your subscription if I've earned and deserved it. And with that, to everybody, just want to say, hope you're having a great day, God bless, and let's get into the content. So, here's the thing, folks. Recently, just about yesterday, the Lions had news that came out that PFF was releasing their top 100 players of 2023, which, according to PFF, they based that list off of what someone did in 2023 to ensure that way they were only basing on what happened in 2023 when they made the list. So nothing else was being factored in. From that list, the Lions had 8 players that made PFF's top 101, players list, which that was only second out of all teams in the NFL to the 49ers, who had 2 more. They had 10 players on the list. So that right there already shows that the Lions got some massive respect, some massive love from Pro Football Focus, PFF, because PFF is considered like the gold standard when it supposedly comes to, player evaluation, player grades, and player performance in that regard. So, who made the list? The list had these 8 players, and I'm going to also put on the ranking as where they were on that top 101 list. So, the very first line was number 10, Penei Sewell. Number 15, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 17, Aiden Hutchinson. Number 25, Frank Ragnow. Number 78, Aleem McNeil. Number 79, Sam Laporta. Number 83, Jared Goff. And number 84, Brian Branch, which, let's consider that list right there. Kind of makes a lot of sense why a lot of those guys are on that list, because they're all good at what they do. They're all top players at what they do. I will say this, though. The one player that I am surprised did not make this list was probably, I would say, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm kind of wondering where the hell Jahmyr Gibbs is on this list, because I'm just like, one of the most dynamic freaking rookie running backs, one of the best running backs in just his first year. I'm like, hey, Brian Branch and Sam Laporta made the list. Where the hell's Jahmyr Gibbs? But c'est la vie. Apparently they thought that Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't good enough to get on the list. But for everything else that I'm going to say here, this is where it's going to start getting a little bit more fun for me. Because let's first and foremost take a look at those 8 names and their positions on the list and start, kind of like divulging a little bit more information. Let's actually kind of take a look at the nuts and bolts of everything here. So first and foremost, take a look at the first 4 names that are on that list at number 10, 15, 17, and 25, which is Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, and Frank Ragnow. That right there already shows me that the PFF people that made this list are giving the Lions a lot of love and respect, because they had 4 Detroit Lions players in the top 25 out of 101 players. That right there is already pretty prestigious. That's a lot of respect right there. But on top of that, half of the Lions list of 8 players, so 4 out of the 8 are in the top 25. So again, a lot of kudos, a lot of respect that PFF is getting towards the Lions in that regard. But it doesn't stop there. Understand this too. If you take a look at all 8 of those names, all but 2 of those names are Brad Holmes' Detroit Lions draft picks, and I make heavy emphasis on the Lions draft picks. The only 2 players that are on that list that are not draft picks that Brad Holmes has done, either by himself or with the Detroit Lions, are Jared Goff and Frank Ragnow. Frank Ragnow was drafted by Bob Quinn. Jared Goff was with Brad Holmes with the Los Angeles Rams, so he doesn't necessarily count in that regard. But everybody else on that list, the other 6 names, are all Brad Holmes draft picks. Penei Sewell, St. Brown, Hutchinson, McNeil, Laporta, Branch, they're all Brad Holmes draft picks, so that right there is a huge affirmation of what Brad Holmes has been doing as the GM of the Detroit Lions. When you've got 6 of your draft picks on the top 101 players list from PFF, that right there tells me that PFF thinks you're doing a pretty damn good job. So that's number 2. Then, think about this as well. All but 2 of the Lions players, again, Goff and Ragnow, are also still on their rookie deals. Think about that. That right there means that 6 of those players are still playing on their rookie contracts, which also helps the Lions out because it's like, listen, you've got these great players and you're not even paying them a huge amount of money. Now, obviously, that's going to change in time in the future, but it right there again shows just how well Brad Holmes has done his job. Now, I am going to say this, though. As much as I love this list, as much as this list has been absolutely just stupendous news for the Lions, because it is kind of like a little bit of a puff piece. It is kind of like, hey, you know what? Hey, it makes us feel good about ourselves. I do have a problem or two with the list. And actually, I already mentioned one problem I have with the list with the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs is not on this list. I can't understand how in the hell Jahmyr Gibbs is not on this list. I don't understand that. First year in the NFL, he has almost 1,000 yards. He's one of the best dual backs in the NFL, and somehow he doesn't get on the list? Like, that to me is just criminal. But that's not even where it stops for me. You have to also think about this. You all knew I was going to bring this up. Why in the hell is Jared Goff so low on this list? Why is he at number 83? Because I decided to take a look at the list, folks. There are 10 quarterbacks that are on the list for PFF's top 101 players. You want to know where Jared Goff ranks out of all 10 of those quarterbacks? He's the number 9 quarterback. The only quarterback he's ranked higher than is Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love. And Jordan Love only started his first year this last year. You want to know the guys that are in front of him? Here's the list of the guys that are in front of him. Jalen Hurts, Goff was better than last year. Matthew Stafford, Goff was better than last year. Tua Tagovailoa, okay, you could kind of make an argument that Tua could be ranked higher. Brock Purdy, yeah, I could probably see that one, maybe. Josh Allen, no. Josh Allen in 2023 did not have that good of a year. Goff should be ranked higher than Josh Allen. Dak Prescott, you could also argue that one. Dak Prescott had a pretty good year as far as stats are concerned in 2023. Lamar Jackson had a pretty good year statistically, but again, I still consider him more of a rushing quarterback than I do a throwing quarterback. And if you're going to play quarterback, your ability to be a better thrower than runner is paramount. And then the last quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, the guy who just won the Super Bowl. So it's like, I don't understand how guys like Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, and a couple of these other guys are ranked higher than Jared Goff, not only in respect to where the other quarterbacks are on the list, but just the other quarterbacks in general. It's like, how is Jared Goff only the 9th highest quarterback in the entirety of PFF's list? That to me just doesn't make any damn sense, because when you start actually taking a look at PFF's own parameters, according to PFF, Jared Goff is the 6th highest passing grade of all quarterbacks. But yet he's ranked 9th out of all the quarterbacks that are on that list. That doesn't make any sense to me. But then you start taking a look at the statistics. Goff was 2nd in terms of passing yards in the NFL last year. He was 4th in terms of passing touchdowns. And he was 9th in terms of passer rating. So it's like, wait a minute here. This guy was top 5 in 2 of the major passing categories as far as stats were concerned. He was ranked 6th highest in PFF's passing grade parameter, and he was ranked 9th in passer rating. Yet somehow, according to PFF, the only quarterback he ranks better than on their own list of top 101 players is Jordan Love, a guy that just got his first start as the full-time starter last year. Methinks there's a problem there. Methinks that is, screwed up. But that, again, is not where it ends for me. The other name that I have a problem with being so low is Sam Laporta, because it's like, wait a minute here, hold on, back up. Sam Laporta was one of the best tight ends in the NFL in 2023. He was 5th highest in the receiving category out of all tight ends in the NFL. He was also 5th highest in terms of receiving yards out of all tight ends in the NFL. And he had the most receiving touchdowns out of all tight ends in the NFL. But yet again, when you take a look at that list, there are only 4 tight ends. So the fact that Sam Laporta is on the list out of only 4 tight ends in the NFL, I do consider that to be pretty prestigious. But the only tight end that he's ranked higher than is TJ Hawkinson. The other 2 guys, okay, George Kittle and, Travis Kelce, I can understand that. But for me, it's like Sam Laporta only being ranked number 79. I think that he should have been ranked at least almost in like the 50s or 40s, because it's like, dude, Sam Laporta was an absolutely just dog. He was a beast as a tight end. And for a rookie tight end to come in and be 5th highest in terms of passing yards and the number 1 tight end in terms of receiving touchdowns, and he's only ranked 79 out of top 101 players, that to me just seems a little bit low. Again, it seems a bit criminal. So for me, like I said, I love the fact that the Lions got a lot of prestigious names that were put on this list, and I love the fact that they got a lot of respect from PFF. But it's like, dude, there are some guys on this list where it's like, I don't understand why they're ranked so low or low in respect to other people that are on the list. Because it's like Jared Goff should definitely be ranked higher in comparison to the other 9 quarterbacks that are on the list with him. And as far as Sam Laporta, I think he should just be ranked higher on the list overall, because the fact that he's only one of 4 tight ends that's even on the list, I consider that pretty prestigious. And again, like I said, where the hell's Jahmyr Gibbs? But again, other than that, I thought the list was a pretty good, again, it was a pretty good affirmation piece for, Brad Holmes. I thought it was a pretty good puff piece for the Lions, because it's like, hey, when you're the second most represented team on PFF's list of top 101 players, only second to the San Francisco 49ers, again, that also shows you're doing something pretty well, because there are other teams like, hey, what about the Dallas Cowboys or the Baltimore Ravens or, the Kansas City Chiefs? Like, all those guys and all those teams, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, hey, where are our guys at? But it's like, Lions are number 2 on that list for the most representation. So it's like, yeah, I feel pretty good about my team. I feel pretty good about what Brad Holmes is doing now, don't you? But anyway, I figured I'd just put this episode together. I figured it would be something fun to talk about, something to kind of distract us a little bit from the draft and the free agency nonsense, something that was a little bit more positive, a little bit more upbeat, and, obviously just have some fun with it. Speaking of having fun, I'm going to make this really quick announcement. Today, Saturday, the time I'm releasing this episode, later tonight I am going to be having a live stream to do mock drafts. So if you guys want to come in, you want to see what my mock drafts look like, and at the same time, you, the fans, you that watch my shows, you guys also want to get your opinions put in to do mock drafts, because I do that as well. You guys can come in, and I'll ask you guys, hey, what do you guys want to do in this situation? Do you guys want to trade up, trade down? Who do you want to draft? That way you guys can have some fun with it, as well as myself and all the other people that I'm going to be having in the panel. But that's going to be tonight. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you guys come in and have some fun with me. But again, with that having been said, I'm going to end the episode and say thank you all for watching another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. Also encourage y'all to tune in for tonight's live stream. And with that, I also want to encourage y'all, please, to subscribe to the channel. If you subscribed in the past, you forgot to do so at the time, or if you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, please subscribe. It helps out the channel. But also, if you subscribed and you didn't hit that bell notification icon that's at the bottom, please make sure you do so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers always going up, but we want to make sure you guys put on that notification icon so that way as soon as I push something out, you guys can come right back in and we can have some more conversations. Also want to encourage y'all to please share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more we share it, the greater the channel spreads, the greater the channel grows. So again, please share as well as subscribe. And with that, again, hope everyone enjoyed the content. Hope y'all had some fun with this episode. Hope to see y'all tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, again, just want to say God bless. Hope y'all are having a great day. And until the next time we meet, I'll see y'all in the next episode.